What if I told you that your mind, by default, is not on your side? It's not an insult, it's a biological reality. For millennia, our brains evolved with a negativity bias, a survival mechanism designed to constantly scan for threats, dangers, and problems. It's why you can receive 10 compliments and 1 criticism, and you'll spend the rest of the day obsessing over that one negative comment. It's why anxiety feels so natural and peace feels so fleeting.
In our modern world, this ancient wiring isn't protecting us from predators in the tall grass. It's trapping us in cycles of worry, stress, and emotional reactivity. We are living with outdated software that is no longer serving us. But what if there was an operating manual, a guide written over 2,000 years ago, designed specifically to debug the human mind and upgrade its programming? This isn't science fiction, it's Stoicism.
The ancient Stoics were the original psychologists, the master engineers of the human spirit. They understood this fundamental flaw in our nature and created a practical, life-changing system of habits to counteract it. They built a fortress inside their own minds, a place of unshakable calm and strength. Today, we are not just going to talk about this philosophy. We are going to give you the keys to that fortress. We will unlock 7 specific, powerful Stoic habits that will transform you from being a passenger in your own emotional life to being the calm, confident driver at the wheel. This is your first step to becoming mentally unbreakable. Let's begin with the foundational pillar upon which all of Stoicism is built. This single habit, once truly understood, can single-handedly eliminate the majority of your daily anxiety. Habit number 1. Practice the dichotomy of control. This sounds complex, but it is beautifully simple. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and rose to become one of the most respected teachers in the Roman Empire, said it best. Some things are within our power, while others are not. That's it. That is the entire framework. Within our power are our opinions, our intentions, our desires, our reactions, basically our own actions and thoughts. Outside our power is, well, everything else. The weather, the economy, what other people think of you, traffic, illness, and even the outcome of your best efforts. Why is this so powerful? Because most of our mental suffering comes from a simple mistake. We try to control what we cannot, and we neglect what we can. We worry endlessly about a presentation, focusing on whether the audience will like it. That's outside your control. What's inside your control? The quality of your research, the amount you practice, and the passion in your delivery. We get angry in traffic, trying to mentally will the cars to move. That's outside your control. What's inside? Your choice of music, the podcast you listen to, or simply using that time to breathe and be present. Think of your mind as an archer. A skilled archer does everything in their power to ensure a perfect shot. They choose the best bow, the straightest arrow. They meticulously check the wind, steady their breathing, and aim with absolute focus. This is what we can control. But once that arrow leaves the bow, its fate is no longer in the archer's hands. A sudden gust of wind, a bird flying past, the target moving, these are external factors. The foolish archer obsesses over the arrow's flight, their happiness rising and falling with whether it hits the bullseye. The Stoic archer, however, finds satisfaction in the perfection of their process. They did everything right. The outcome is irrelevant to their sense of self-worth and peace. By focusing only on your own actions, your own character, you become like the Stoic archer. You find peace not in outcomes, but in your own virtuous effort. Your actionable step for this habit is simple. Throughout your day, whenever you feel a surge of anxiety or frustration, ask yourself one question. Is this something that is within my control? If the answer is no, consciously practice letting it go. Acknowledge it,
And then redirect your precious energy back to what you can control, your next action. Habit #2. Rehearse misfortune. Premeditatio malorum. Now this might sound counterintuitive. Why would we want to actively think about things going wrong? Our modern culture is obsessed with positive thinking, with visualizing success. The Stoics, however, were masters of realism. They understood that life is unpredictable and often difficult. Pretending otherwise is a recipe for shock and despair. So they practiced what is called negative visualization. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, would start his day by telling himself, "Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness." He wasn't being pessimistic, he was being prepared. He was vaccinating his mind against the inevitable frustrations of the day. By imagining things going wrong, losing your job, getting into an argument, facing a health scare, you achieve two remarkable things. First, you strip these events of their power to shock you. When you've already mentally rehearsed a difficult scenario, you are far better equipped to handle it with calm and reason if it ever comes to pass. You've already thought through the first steps. The panic is replaced with a plan. Second, and perhaps more importantly, this practice makes you profoundly grateful for what you have right now. Take a moment and genuinely imagine losing something you take for granted: your home, your health, a loved one. Feel that sense of loss for a moment. Now, open your eyes. The relief and gratitude you feel are immense. Your home feels cozier. Your body feels more precious. Your relationships feel more vital. Seneca wrote frequently about this, reminding us to periodically imagine that our possessions and loved ones have been taken from us. Not to be morbid, but to cherish them more deeply while they are here. The happiness you seek is not in getting more, but in fully appreciating what is already yours. Your actionable step is this: once a day, for just 1 minute, think about something you value. Then, briefly and calmly, imagine it's gone. Acknowledge the feeling, and then let it pass, replaced by a wave of gratitude for its presence in your life right now. Habit #3. Practice voluntary discomfort. We live in an age of unprecedented comfort. Our thermostats are perfectly controlled, food is available 24/7, and entertainment is a click away. But the Stoics knew that a life without challenge is a life that creates weakness. Comfort, when pursued relentlessly, makes us fragile. It lowers our threshold for pain and frustration until even minor inconveniences feel like major catastrophes. To counteract this, the Stoics deliberately and regularly practiced voluntary discomfort. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would periodically live as if he were poor. He would wear the roughest clothes, eat the plainest food, and sleep on the hard floor. He wasn't punishing himself, he was training himself. He was asking the question, is this the condition that I so feared? And he would realize that not only could he survive it, but he could find peace and even happiness within it. He was building his resilience, his mental fortitude, so that if fortune ever turned against him, he would be ready. He was proving to himself that his happiness was not dependent on his wealth or comfort. We can apply this in countless small ways. Take a cold shower instead of a hot one. Skip a meal and experience a bit of hunger. Sleep on the floor for a night. Go for a run in the rain instead of waiting for a sunny day. Leave your phone at home for an afternoon. These small acts of self-imposed hardship do something magical to the mind. They expand your comfort zone. They prove to you that you are tougher than you think. They make you appreciate the simple comforts you normally take for granted. A warm bed feels like a luxury after a night on the floor. A simple meal is a feast after a period of fasting. You are not just building resilience, you are manufacturing gratitude and perspective. Your actionable step: choose one small, safe act of voluntary discomfort this week. Just one. Do it, experience it, and reflect on how it changes your perspective on the rest of your day. You are forging your own armor, one cold shower at a time. Habit hash 4. Adopt the view from above. So much of our daily anxiety and frustration comes from a lack of perspective.
We get caught up in our own small dramas, our personal conflicts, our career setbacks. Our problems feel enormous, all-consuming. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote, a mental exercise called the view from above. Marcus Aurelius practiced this constantly. He would, in his imagination, pull his consciousness back from his immediate situation. He would visualize himself floating up, looking down on his own body. Then further up, seeing the entire city of Rome below him. Further still, seeing the Italian peninsula, then Europe, then the entire earth as a small blue marble suspended in the vast, silent darkness of space. From this cosmic perspective, how significant are the things that were troubling him just moments before? The petty argument with a senator, the delayed shipment of grain, the criticism from a rival. They all shrink into utter insignificance. He would then look through time, imagining the billions of people who lived before him and the billions who will come after, all with their own hopes, fears, and dramas, now all gone, turned to dust. In the grand sweep of cosmic history, his own life was but a fleeting breath. This is not meant to make you feel nihilistic or unimportant. On the contrary, it is meant to liberate you. It frees you from the tyranny of the ego. It shows you that most of the things we worry about are, in the grand scheme of things, meaningless. It helps you distinguish between a genuine crisis and a simple inconvenience. It cultivates a sense of connection to humanity and the universe, reminding you that you are part of something much, much larger than your own personal narrative. When you feel overwhelmed, try this. Close your eyes. Imagine floating up, up, and away. See your problems shrink. See the vast, beautiful, indifferent universe around you. Breathe in that perspective. You will find that when you return to your body, your problems have returned to their proper size. Habit hash 5. Keep a philosophical diary. We often go through our days on autopilot. We react emotionally to events. We make choices based on impulse, and we rarely stop to analyze why we do what we do. The Stoics believed that an unexamined life is not worth living. The primary tool for this examination was the journal. This was not a diary for simply recording events, but a philosophical logbook for self-reflection and improvement. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, one of the greatest books ever written, was never intended for publication. It was his private journal, a collection of notes to himself on how to live a better life. Every evening you can engage in a similar practice. Ask yourself a series of simple questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short of my own values? Did I give in to anger or fear? Did I act with kindness and integrity? Was I governed by reason or by mindless emotion? This process isn't about self-criticism or guilt. It's about self-awareness. It's like being a coach to yourself. You are reviewing the game tape of your day to see where you can improve your performance tomorrow. By writing these things down, you make your patterns of thought and behavior visible. You might notice you always get irritable in the late afternoon, prompting you to have a healthy snack. You might see that you consistently overcommit yourself, teaching you the importance of saying no. Seneca recommended this practice as a way to bring yourself to account each day. You are the judge of your own character. This daily ritual of self-reflection is how you make incremental, consistent progress. It is how you ensure that you are not simply repeating the same mistakes day after day, but are actively sculpting yourself into the person you wish to be. Your actionable step is clear. Get a notebook. Tonight, before you sleep, spend just 5 minutes answering those questions. Be honest, be kind to yourself, and commit to being just 1% better tomorrow. Habit #6. Embrace your fate. Amor fati. This might be the most challenging, yet most liberating of all the Stoic habits. It is the concept of amor fati, a Latin phrase that means a love of one's fate. It doesn't just mean passively accepting what happens to you, it means actively, enthusiastically embracing it. It means believing that everything that happens, both the good and the bad, is a necessary and beneficial part of your journey. The Stoics saw the universe as a single interconnected whole, governed by a divine logic or reason. Therefore, whatever happened was, by definition, meant to be.
To fight against it, to complain about it, to wish it were different, is as foolish as a dog tied to a cart trying to run in the opposite direction. The wise dog learns to run alongside the cart, enjoying the journey. Friedrich Nietzsche, a later philosopher deeply influenced by the Stoics, put it this way: "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. Imagine the power of this mindset. A career setback is no longer a disaster, it's an opportunity to learn resilience and discover a new path. A painful breakup is not an ending, it's a lesson in love and self-reliance that prepares you for a better future. A chronic illness is not a curse, it's a chance to cultivate courage and appreciate the simple moments of life. This is not about pretending that painful things aren't painful. It is about choosing to find the purpose and opportunity within the pain. It's about trusting that the obstacle in the path is the path. The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He was saying that every obstacle can be used as fuel. The fire of your will can consume the challenges in your life and burn even brighter. This is the ultimate alchemy of the human spirit, turning suffering into strength and fate into freedom. Your practice is a shift in language. The next time something goes wrong, stop yourself from saying, "This shouldn't be happening." Instead, try saying, "This is my path. How can I use this?" Habit #7. Remember you will die. Memento mori. We end with the habit that frames all the others. In ancient Rome, when a victorious general would parade through the streets, basking in the adoration of the crowds, he would have a slave standing behind him in the chariot. This slave had one job, to whisper continuously into the general's ear, "Memento mori." Remember, you are mortal. Remember, you will die. This wasn't to ruin the celebration. It was to provide perspective. It was a reminder that fame, wealth, and power are all temporary. Life is short and fleeting, and what truly matters is how we live it. The awareness of our own mortality is not a morbid obsession. It is the ultimate motivator for a life of virtue and purpose. When you truly internalize the fact that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivialities. You no longer put up with jobs you hate, relationships that drain you, or habits that harm you. You stop procrastinating on your dreams. The philosopher's words, "You could leave life right now," should, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, determine what you do and say and think. Does this argument matter in the face of death? Does this grudge matter? Does this fear of what others think matter? The answer is almost always no. Memento mori clarifies your priorities. It forces you to ask the most important question. Am I living a life that is true to myself? Am I being the person I want to be? It injects urgency and meaning into every moment. You treat your loved ones with more patience and kindness because you know your time with them is not guaranteed. You pursue your goals with more passion because you know the clock is ticking. This isn't about living in fear of death, but being inspired by it. It is the final, beautiful paradox of Stoicism. By embracing the reality of death, you finally learn how to truly, fully live. Let this be your daily reflection.
As you wake up, remind yourself that this day is a gift, not a guarantee. Live it with purpose, with courage, and with love. Because one day you will be right. That day will be your last. These 7 habits are not just ancient philosophy. They are a timeless toolkit for building an unbreakable life. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more wisdom on this path. And now I ask you, which of these 7 habits will you practice first, starting tomorrow?
Share your commitment in the comments below.